What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color, and welcome back to another episode of This Week in Physical Media, the first episode of the year. It's 2024. We're finally back. We had to take a few years off at the end of the year there. Sorry about that. I got sick for 1 week, and then the next 2 weeks I got super busy with just holiday stuff, kids home from school, so couldn't find the time to prepare and shoot this show, but we're back. And we're live, and I'm seeing people already in the chat. Let me know how I sound. Had to get reacquainted with the whole live thing. It's been like I said, it's almost been a month, but we're back. Hopefully I sound good. Good to see you guys all in the chat here. We've got, let me see who we've already got here. We've got Code Anime Fan. Evil Wax 73 says, "This is my first time watching one of your live streams." Well, great. Welcome. Good to see you. We're going to have fun. We're going to have fun tonight. We're going to go over everything that is coming out on Blu-ray and 4K this week. And actually, we're going to jump a little bit and cover some things that came out last week that we missed because it's a short week. It's a small week. There's not that much coming out. Things are just getting going, beginning of the year. So I think we'll have no problem covering last week and this week. And we'll probably still have plenty of time left over to talk about channel stuff, upcoming videos that I plan to make, and just general Q&A with you guys. It's been a long time. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, and I want to hear what's been going on, what you've been watching, what you guys been buying, what did you get for Christmas. I got a ton of stuff for Christmas, and I just shot a video about that. Thank you guys so much for the response to that video. I was not expecting that video to do so well. A lot of people watched that, and I had a great time talking to you guys in the comments about that video, and people sharing what they got for Christmas and talking about my pickup. So a lot of fun there, and hopefully I can get some more videos out very soon. Who else is here in the chat? Kevin House is in the chat, but he's not watching. He says he is participating in the chat while watching the college football championship game. Wow, poor planning on my part. I didn't even know that was happening. I don't know anything about sports. Internet users here. Jeffrey Patrone says howdy, howdy. Sam Fett, welcome, welcome. Good. All right, and Jeffrey says it sounds pretty good. All right, well, thank you. I hope it sounds good. And let's go ahead and jump right into the releases. Watching my my streaming thing over here. Looks like we're doing good. No lag. Says excellent connection. So we should be fine. Let me know, of course, as always, if anything starts to go wrong, and we'll see if we can make it through this. All right, real quick, let's switch over to the second monitor. Last week, we missed some really cool things. First of all, Holdovers came out last week on physical media, which I have now seen. I'm finally getting around to seeing. There we go. Get out of here with that. All right. I finally have been seeing some movies from this year. I haven't been able to make it to theater all year, and so stuff's finally coming to streaming, and I'm able to see it. So I watched The Holdovers with Grace last week. We watched Poor Things in theaters recently. We watched Past Lives. We've been watching a lot of great stuff, so it's good to catch up. Obviously, the Golden Globes were just last night, and that was fun. We watched those, and John came over and watched those with us, and that was a good time. So finally seeing some things. Holdovers was one of the things that I saw, and I really liked. And it is just getting a Blu-ray here. Unfortunately, no 4K. I'm probably going to hold off on this just because this has happened a couple times now where I buy the Blu-ray and then like 6 months or a year later, a 4K comes out. I don't know if that'll happen with this. Even if it doesn't, I don't feel like I need to own this right away. I'll probably pick it up like later on in 2024, like maybe around Black Friday or something. Because I do want to watch this around Christmas time because it's fun. It's a fun Christmas movie. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to pick this up right away, but it is getting a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital copy from Universal. And yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't know exactly what the special features are on that. I actually saw that at Target the other day. My Target rarely has anything, but they did have the Holdovers, so that's good. I do recommend the movie, though. The movie is great. I highly recommend the movie, and that's why I wanted to talk about it a little bit. People popping in. Let's see. We've got Ben Loves Movies. I discovered your channel just the other day and have been binging all your videos. Great channel. Thanks, Ben. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Welcome to the group. Evil Wax says, binged all the Criterion Hall videos over the holidays. Yeah, that's the most popular videos here. Those are a lot of fun to make, and we're going to keep making those, but that only happens twice a year. So the rest of the year, we got to figure out what people want to see. Happy New Year, DJ, from Thomas Lowe. Happy New Year, man. I can't believe it's already, like, what are we, 10 days into the year already? Time's flying. Time has no meaning anymore. Michael Smith on break from work. Let's do it. Okay. Well, I don't know how long your break is, but I'll try to get through as much as I can while you're on break. Oh, and he also says, have you seen Poor Things? Great. Yes, I did see Poor Things, and I liked it quite a bit. It might be my favorite movie of the year so far. I haven't seen much, though. I got a lot more to see. And then Evil says, I heard nothing but great things about Holdovers. It's great, man. I highly recommend it. It's streaming on Prime, I think, right now. Amazon Prime for free. I mean, if you have it, it's free. But that's how we watched it, and it was great. The Apu Trilogy is also came out last week, already out from Criterion. This is the 4K re-release that we talked about when the announcement happened a couple months ago. Very excited about this one. Someone recently said it's a huge oversight that DJ has not watched the Apu Trilogy yet. It's not an oversight. I do want to watch it. I am aware of it. It does sound like something that I would really enjoy. There's just too much to watch, man. There's so much. I'm getting to things as I can, but I do want to get that. That might be one that I pick up in July for sure. That might be the box set I get in July, actually, because I've been wanting to pick that up for a while, but I am glad I held off because now it's getting a lovely 4K. So that's 3 movies in that collection. And I think, I mean, from what I know about it, it is about the same character. I don't think it's the same actor, but the same character at 3 different ages, 3 different stages of his life. And it sounds really cool. And I think I'm going to really enjoy it, but I'm not going to be able to afford it right now because I don't have any money. But when the Criterion sale hits, I'll definitely pick that one up. We've got a few other things here on the boutique side. Shout Factory is putting out a Chuck Norris movie called Forced Vengeance, which I know nothing about, but that's one of his 80s movies, and it has a really cool, crazy looking artwork and a really cool typography on the logo right there. Oh, this is a lot. There's a lot going on. They're like, wow. Yeah, this is really cool. But haven't seen that film, so can't speak on it. If you've seen Forced Vengeance, let us know what you think in the chat. And real quick, also from another boutique line, this is Radiance, which has been blowing up YouTube, especially in our circles lately, because they've been putting out a ton of stuff, and they do really nice releases on the level, on the level of a Criterion or Indicator or any of these other labels. They're putting out really great stuff. They're already on spy number 35 already, which is crazy because I feel like they just started. But there you go. This is The Faces of Murder, which is from 1959. Looks like some kind of noir crime drama, which is I've been watching more and more of lately. It's becoming a genre I'm more familiar with. It was a total blind spot for a while, but lately I've been checking some out. So if you're interested in The Facts of Murder, I think they were having a Radiant sale on, what is it, MVD? Is that the site? I've never bought from them, but I've heard a couple other YouTubers shouting out the Radiant sale. So maybe check that out if you're interested. Connor's here. Welcome, buddy. Good to see you. Switch back to the main. Connor's here. Evil says Poor Things looks amazing. It is amazing. I highly recommend you check it out. Really, really good. Jeffrey says, want to check out The Holdovers. It looks so endearing. It is. I would describe it that way. That's a good way to describe it. I think you're going to love it, Jeffrey. It definitely seems like a Jeffrey movie. Very, very, very good. I think Grace, I watched it with Grace. She liked it even more than me. Kevin says, I loved Holdovers and also enjoyed Wonka and Godzilla Minus One. I've heard great things about Godzilla Minus One. We saw Wonka the other day, and it wasn't for me. I did not enjoy it at all. Unfortunate, very disappointing, because I was really looking forward to that one. Let me see. Kevin says, hi, Connor. Hope you had a great holiday season. And Michael Smith, true story. I have 0 movies with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and the only Chuck Norris film I have is Dodgeball. Yeah, I don't have a lot of those martial arts movies either from the 80s. That's definitely a blind spot for me, which is weird because you would think I would be more into that stuff because my parents are both martial artists and have had a martial arts studio for my entire life. That's what they do for a living. That's their business. So, but I don't know. My dad wasn't. I guess he watched some of that stuff, but I just never got into it. I think that's all the big things I wanted to mention from last week. They are also releasing these. I'm not a big fan of these, but they're doing those slipcovers. I don't know if these are Walmart. These look like Walmart, but they'll do those series of slipcovers at Walmart usually where they have they're all the same style slipcover. And I don't think they look very great. They're called the Warner Brothers Iconic Moments slipcovers. And the first one here is Beetlejuice. These are 4K, which is kind of cool. And the slipcover is this moment here. Here lies Beetlejuice. And then they usually have like a quote on the bottom from someone in the movie, which is always weird. But those came out. So I guess if you missed the 4Ks on those and you just want to pick them up and you don't mind the the similar looking slipcovers. So there's Beetlejuice, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Dune, Scarface, and Aquaman. It's always like a super weird random collection of films. It's just whatever the studio has that they want to release. I already have 2 of these. So I got Willy Wonka and Dune here. So if you do pick those up, you're just going to get this standard case underneath. They've just repackaged it with a new slipcover. So I'm not a huge fan of those, but like I said, if you missed them and you just want to pick them up, there's some easy, probably pretty cheap versions you can pick up. I don't understand why they're called iconic moments, because they're not depicting moments, they're just depicting an object, which I guess is from a moment. But like, what is this? This is not a moment at all. This is just his trident. What moment is that supposed to be? That's weird. I don't really like those slipcovers, but if you do, those came out last week. Also coming out this week, we'll move on to this week, tomorrow, Blues Day Tuesday. All of these will be dropping January 9th. Wow, January 9th already. Blood Simple. Blood Simple's coming out, which is great because I've held off on getting that one. I've been collecting quite a few of the Coen Brothers movies, and even the ones that are in the Criterion Collection. And I don't have Blood Simple yet, and I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited to see it, and it's probably going to look gorgeous on the 4K restoration. So can't wait to check that one out. That's going to be definitely a July purchase for me and Grace, because she loves the Coen Brothers too, and we've watched all their films together, I think. So that's cool. Another Criterion release. Good stuff. Criterion's putting out good stuff. See if anyone's saying anything before I move on and get too far away from it. Michael Smith says, what is behind the -1 part of the title? I don't know because I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure the people in the chat can fill you in. No spoilers though, guys. No spoilers. Ethan Edwards says, if you've never seen a Chuck Norris or Van Damme movie, you're not missing much. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be for me or not. Maybe it seems like a movie that would be more fun to watch like in a group with other people. And it seems like it would be a good time. An internet user says Blood Simple is so great. Good. Let me know where that falls on your like Coen Brothers ranking. Is Blood Simple towards the top? Is it one of their best? I know it's one of their very, very early ones. Is it their first one? It might be their first film. I'm second guessing myself now. But yeah, I'm excited to check that one out. We've also got from a different label, and I'm not familiar with this label. This is from Neon. Actually, it says, what's it say? Decal Releasing. This is Oldboy, which has been getting a ton of releases. It already had like a bunch of boutique releases, and then it just got like a 4K restoration last year, I remember, because it was playing in the theater like a couple weeks after I saw After Hours in the theater on 35mm. I noticed Oldboy was playing, and I wanted to go see it, but I couldn't get around to seeing it. But it's a super cool release. It's like, and I don't get the references because I haven't seen the film, but there's this octopus design on the front. It looks like a cloth-bound like book almost, kind of similar to the Curzon box sets that they've been putting out. I just got the 3 Colors trilogy from Curzon for Christmas, and the box set is amazing. This kind of looks similar to that. It's got a nice purple text along the spine and back, and there's a image there on the front. And then, like I said, the octopus is on the back. Very, very cool looking release. It is very expensive though. It is currently at $76 on Amazon. I don't know exactly why it's that expensive. I don't know what all you get in this, if there's just a ton of supplements or if it's just for the like unique packaging that it costs that much. But yeah, that's a really cool release. If that's one of your favorite movies and you want to pick that up, that might be the definitive set to get. I have not seen it, so I'm not just going to drop $75 on a movie I haven't seen, but maybe. I've heard that movie is based on like folklore, which is always intriguing to me. And even though the premise doesn't seem like my kind of thing, my kind of genre, I might be able to see past it because it is based on folklore, and it might be a kind of storytelling that I really enjoy. So I am still looking forward to Oldboy. I'll have to watch it first before I pick it up. And then the other big 4K release coming out this week that I've already seen some people getting early reviews out on is Varsity Blues, which got a 4K release. That is the back. And that is the front. There it is. 25th anniversary, first time on 4K Ultra HD. That is kind of dumb. I don't like that they did that. The fact that there's already a 4K banner at the top, and then there's another banner that says first time on 4K Ultra HD again right under it is pretty silly. But I gotta give it to them. Who put this out? This is Paramount Pictures. I gotta give it to them for at least putting out a slipcover, because a lot of companies aren't even doing slipcovers these days on 4Ks. Like brand new 4Ks will come out and they won't even have a slipcover. But this is only $20 on Amazon right now. Classic football movie. Another one I haven't seen. I'm not a huge sports movie fan, but I'm sure my wife has seen this one because she's way bigger into sports than I am, and I'm sure she's seen this one. But yeah, 1999, classic 90s football movie, getting a 4K release from Paramount Pictures, putting out good stuff. And then we'll do this one real quick. We'll knock it out. Finish the first row. This is another Shout Factory release. Shout Factory has been on here a lot lately. We already talked about their Chuck Norris movie that they just did. This is a 1977 movie called Telephone. Telephone? Is it a French film? What is this? Oh no, it's a Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Interesting. Look at that. So that looks like some kind of spy. I wish I had more information on this. I guess I can read here. With the Cold War thawing, old KGB hardliner Nikolai Dalchimsky attempts to activate a group of Americans who were brainwashed 20 years earlier to blow up the United States targets when triggered by post-hypnotic suggestion. Okay, when that started, I thought it was going to be much more serious, but it does seem like it's more of an over-the-top spy thriller fun movie, which is interesting. 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 That's all I can say about it. It sounds interesting. Don't know much about that film. Please let me know if you know what that movie is. Let's see here. Let's hop back over to the chat. Yes, Azif says it is their first movie. Okay, I thought so. I don't know why I was second guessing myself there. People saying it's highly underrated. Michael Smith, the 80. I wonder how it is. I prefer them when they're a little. Actually, I was going to say I prefer them when they're a little more serious, because Raising Arizona went a little too far for me. It was a little too over the top. But then I do love Big Lebowski, so I don't know. I guess I don't have any rules when it comes to Coen Brothers. I just gotta watch it and see if it works for me. And Raising Arizona might work on a second viewing. I've only seen it once, so it did lose me a little bit towards the end. But on second viewing, I might actually appreciate it more, knowing what I'm getting going in. Michael Smith says the 845th release of Oldboy. Right? That's what I was saying. I don't understand why that one in particular has so many releases, but like tons of boutique and luxury labels keep putting out Oldboy, and they're like these huge, very expensive releases. But I don't know. That might be the definitive one because it is the 4K restoration. I don't know. Yes, Blood Simple is their debut. It's up there as one of their best. Yes. Okay. I'm finally going to check that one out this year. That's on the list for this year. Evil Wax says Oldboy's intense. Haven't seen it in a while, so worth a rewatch. Good. Good to hear it. And I need to see it for the first time. Real quick, we'll go through a couple more of these, and then I'll chat with you guys a little bit. We've got Eddie Murphy in Raw. I'm Eddie Murphy in Raw, and they're trying to make me Eddie Murphy in Daddy Daycare. Both great movies. Sorry, I went into Michael Scott there for a second. Eddie Murphy Raw getting a Blu-ray release from Paramount Pictures. Again, Paramount's in here. Available for only $22 on Amazon. Is this a movie? I guess I don't know what this is. I always thought this was just a movie, but the front of this makes it look like it's just a stand-up special. Is it a stand-up special? Is it a movie? Is it both? Movie opens with Eddie as a young boy entertaining and eventually shocking his family with some... Okay, so it is a movie. I guess that cover makes sense if he is being a stand-up artist in the movie. But yeah, the only thing I've ever heard about this movie is that Michael Scott quote in like season 2 of The Office. So I don't know much about that one, but that's really cool. It's getting a Blu-ray release. 1987, very young Eddie Murphy in that one. What is this? St. Ives? Shout Factory, another Shout Factory release. St. Ives from 1976. Charles Bronson is Ray St. Ives. He's clean, he's mean, he's the go-between. So interesting. Oh, I love that cover. I really like, that's an interesting cover from Shout Factory. Good job, Shout Factory. Don't know if it has a slipcover or not, but that is coming out at $35, available on Amazon right now. Shout Factory putting out a lot of good stuff lately. And then we're going to get to Kino Lorber here in a bit because a lot of Kino Lorber stuff is coming out. I don't know what this is. RJL Entertainment is putting out Suitable Flesh on Blu-ray, which is a 2023 movie, brand new 2023 movie. Sexy and outrageous body swap adventure. Interesting. So it's like Freaky Friday. It's like that. Was that called Freaky with Vince Vaughn a couple of years ago? Is it just like that? Is it like the Asylum version of that? I actually don't know anything about this label. It's probably not an Asylum movie, but very similar premise, taking the Freaky Friday body switching thing that's usually done in comedies and making it into a horror movie. So there we go. Another similar movie. I didn't see Freaky, but I actually heard good things about it. And I like Vince Vaughn. I don't know if Vince Vaughn acting like a 18-year-old girl is going to work for me, but I do love Vince Vaughn. Real quickly, because the chat is I'm getting behind in the chat, but we do have several Kino Lorber releases coming out this week. One that I'm very interested in, it's right here, The Outside Man, coming out on Blu-ray, starring Jean-Louis Trintignant. I have no idea how to say his last name. I need to learn how to pronounce French, but it's the same guy who I saw first in, what did I see him first in? I saw him in My Night at Maud's, one of my favorite movies. Excellent in that My Night at Maud's. And he's also in Il Sorpasso, which we watched also for the first time last year, and he's amazing in Il Sorpasso. Love that movie as well. But this is like he plays a hitman in this movie. I was looking at it earlier because I really like him as an actor, and I kind of want to get it just based on that. If you kill the most powerful man in organized crime, they've got the rest of your life to get you. So this is The Outside Man. He's a hitman for his boss, but then somehow his boss gets killed, and he gets blamed for it, I believe, and then he's on the run. There he is. He just passed away last year, and he was a huge French star, one of the biggest, and I've loved him in everything I've seen him in, so I kind of want to buy it just for him. But that's very cool. The Outside Man is getting a Kino Lorber release. That's from 1973, and it's one movie, but it's got two cuts on there, two different cuts. Very nice slipcover on that. I wonder if that's the original poster. I love when they do that. Also from Kino Lorber, we've got a box set coming out. Film Noir, The Dark Side of Cinema, number 16? Number 16. There's a lot of those box sets. I didn't realize there were that many at this point. There's the cover on that, including 3 films, The Mystery of Marie Roget and Chicago Deadline and Iron Man. So 3 more noir films for that collection. I wonder if there's anyone out there who has all of those, because that is a ton of box sets from Kino Lorber, but very cool that they're keeping that line going for those noir fans out there. And then we've also got from Kino Lorber Odds Against Tomorrow from 1959, which is kind of another action thriller crime movie here. Seems like they have a theme this month. Another noir looking film. And then the last one coming out from Kino Lorber. Can't even keep up with Kino Lorber. They've got so much stuff coming out. But here it is from 1982. It's called Split Image. So a little bit later on this one. This one is, but it does kind of look like another crime film. It's got this like puzzle box theme on the front. But not familiar with that one. But very nice releases, very nice looking releases from Kino Lorber this month. Let me know which one of those you're excited about. I'm going to jump back over here into the chat and see what people are saying. Let's see. Henry Bidenkamp says Telephone was a decent thriller, but not highly recommended. Okay. Also goes in line with what Evil Wax said about Chat Factory. They're known for mostly schlocky B movies. So that makes sense. Let's see. Oh, and then Ben Loves Movies. Welcome back again. Also says that Telephone is directed by the same guy who did Escape from Alcatraz, Dirty Harry, and the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, although Telephone isn't as good. I've heard nothing but great things about those other 3 movies, but yeah, I guess they can't all be hits. I really want to see Escape from Alcatraz. That's the one on that list that really intrigues me the most. Just that story is always something that's fascinated me, and I'd like to see the film version of it. Let me know if that's like a really, really great movie that I need to see. Let's see. Ethan Edwards says Raising Arizona is so much fun. It is that. We did have a really good time watching that. Let's see. Okay, Aziz says it is a stand-up special. Okay, I guess Michael Scott was confusing me there a little bit. Jeffrey Patron caught a sneak peek of that Film Noir Dark Side of Cinema box set. Love those. Yeah, they look like really nice. I feel like I'm way too behind to even start collecting them at this point, but it's really cool that they've kept them going for so long. Nostalgia nerds, what did you think of the giant Willy Wonka 40th anniversary Blu-ray set? What did I think of it? It's right there on the shelf. It's fine. It's actually it's a mixed bag. It's really, really cool. They have, I think I've actually opened it. Why not? I can open it on here because I want to talk about it real quick. What I love about it is obviously the presentation. Let me remove this out of the way. Sorry. I love the presentation. that's the back. I've never done any kind of like video on this, but and the other thing I love about this set is this right here. You get a full like textbook almost about the film. It's like full. It's like, it's not just a booklet like you get mostly. It's like a whole book. It really feels like a textbook. Hundreds of pages and full like 9 by 12. And then also the other really cool thing you get is this little folder of documents, which includes includes like bulletins, like faxes back and forth from the director. There's like notes back and forth that Gene Wilder wrote to the director about ideas he had for the film. He like hand wrote this. He's like, hey, I'm not gonna do this movie until you let me do all these things. And he like gives notes about everything about the character, like the costume he wants to wear. He has like notes on the costume. There's a lot of really cool like documents that they recreated for this, which is very cool and unique, and I haven't seen in very many other box sets. So that's super cool. And then you also get the movie in a Wonka bar, which is nice. You get the Blu-ray and 2 DVDs for the special features. And then this last thing you get is this just kind of silly thing. It's like a pencil box with like pencils and erasers in it. That's kind of dumb. I don't need that, but I do love the documents and I do love the book. And I love the whole presentation. It's a limited edition of 100,000, so not that limited. That's a lot, but it's still really cool to have one. I found that at a Half Price Books for a decent price. And of course, like I just showed you, I rebought it when the 4K came out. One of my favorite movies. So yeah, I really love the 40th anniversary. If you can find one for a good price, I recommend it. I only paid like $20 for that, $25 maybe at Half Price Books. So it was a good buy. It was a good purchase. I stand by it. Let's see what else people are talking about. Oh, good to see you here. We got The Outside Man is a solid Hitman film. Good, because I do want to check that one out. Have to add this one to my Letterboxd queue. Michael Smith says, oh, he's going to make me say his name again. I'm just going to pronounce it like Englishly because I can't pronounce that in French. Trintignant is the old judge in the film Red from Kieslowski. Jeffrey Pertone says, solid Robert Wise outing. Oh, Ben says, Odds Against Tomorrow is one of the last true noir films, along with Orson Welles' Touch of Evil. Highly recommend. Well, I have Touch of Evil back there, so that's interesting. Another film noir right as noir is on the way out. Jeffrey Pertone says he was talking about in reference to Odds Against Tomorrow. So 2 recommends for Odds Against Tomorrow. Let's see. People are talking to each other, so I'm trying to sift through this a little bit so I don't lag on too much. Code Anime fan says, how would you feel if they made a Wonkaverse film where Johnny Depp and Timothée Chalamet team up with Tom and Jerry? No, I would not feel anything towards that. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of the new Wonka film, so I don't need any more Timothée Chalamet outings, and I definitely don't want them going on like superhero adventures with Tom and Jerry. But maybe you could write a fanfic about that. Kevin House, DJ, would your kids like the pencil box, or am I too old school? I don't know. I mean, not yet. Maybe later on. They're not to the age where they have like binders yet. Like my daughter's only 3, my son's only in kindergarten, he's only 5, so they don't have like binders. They just have their folder that they do their work in at school and then bring home and do their work at home. So maybe someday I'll get some use out of that. I don't have a pencil sharpener though, so I would have to buy a pencil sharpener because all we use is mechanical pencils these days. But no, that's a good point. I could use that. I guess I could. It's not too bad. I'm not mad that there's pencils in there. I just wish they could have used the space for like, something a little cooler, like some, I don't know, postcard, art cards or something. Real quick, let's move on to, I wanted to talk about this real quick. But real quick, I'll talk about The Hell with Heroes. This is another Kino Lorber release, but it doesn't come with a slipcover like the other ones. This must be a lesser known release that they don't think is going to sell as well. This is The Hell with Heroes. They all had something to sell: courage, sex, corruption. Interesting. So just kind of a straight up drama film, not as schlocky as some of those other ones seemed. And we also have, this is what I really wanted to talk about. This is Dante's Inferno. This is a film from 1911 that is being put out by Terror Vision. And the reason I this is on my radar is because I bought this already. I pre-ordered it back in October, I think November. I pre-ordered it in November. I remember because I was in Dallas for work, and I was actually shopping at a movie theater company. I think that's what it's called. It's a secondhand store over there. And I just social media was scrolling through and found out about this, and it sounds amazing. It is a silent film, obviously from 1911, adaptation of Dante's Inferno. I think it is what? I guess I can't see immediately what country it's from because there's no language because it's a silent film. But it is, I believe it's French, or I can't remember what it is. It's European though, and it is it looks amazing. I'll see if they show any imagery from it. I think the slipcover has. There you go. There's the slipcover. It's got a little bit of a shot. So it's got this nice slipcover. It's a boutique release. I've never bought anything from Terror Vision before. Like I said, I pre-ordered it back in November because it sounds like something that I'm going to love. And I just checked in with them this week, actually, because I was like, man, it's been a long time since I pre-ordered that. It was supposed to come out at the end of the year, and it never did. I still haven't received mine. So I reached out to them, and they were great. TerraVision has really good customer service. She reached out to, like, just a couple hours later, someone contacted me back and said, no, we haven't sent them out yet. There was a delay with one of the special features or one of the discs or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but they're still coming out soon. It looks like it's coming out tomorrow. So I should get mine in the mail here pretty soon. And I can do an unboxing for you guys and show you what that looks like. I do want to pop that in. It's only 71 minutes. So I should be able to squeeze that into the schedule because I've been looking forward to it since November, but it looks awesome. Check it out. Dante's Inferno. I'm sure it's available on YouTube or something online, but I wanted to get the really nice restoration that they've done because I think it's from a 4K scan. And it's probably the best it's ever going to look. It's definitely the best it's ever going to look. It's a film from 1911. But very, very excited about Dante's Inferno. Let me know if you've seen that, if anyone's seen that, because it seems really cool. Kino Lorber again. Kino Lorber's dropping so many things tomorrow. They also have Has Anyone Seen My Gal Blu-ray, which is a 1952 comedy musical. So very different than the rest. It's got a very cool cover here. I love the artwork. Directed by Douglas Sirk. Wow, that is fascinating. I didn't know he did comedy musicals, but that sounds cool. Has anybody seen My Gal? Has anybody seen My Gal? Because I've not heard of that one before, but I like musicals, and that seems like a fun little 50s one. Let's see. Anything else big coming out this week? This is another Kino Lorber release because they're just taking over the whole week. This is Road to Hong Kong. I was looking at this before we started. This is a Bing Crosby movie. Bing Crosby, Bob Hope movie. So a comedy starring both of those guys. And it sounds very fun. It's like Bing Crosby and Bob Hope stars Common Chester Babcock and Harry Turner in their final road comedy collaboration. Okay, so it's their last one. When Chester loses his memory, a wacky espionage adventure ensues for the wisecracking duo. So a little spy thriller espionage kind of parody film. I love me some Bing Crosby. We obviously have to watch White Christmas every single year, and this looks fun and has a very interesting artwork on the cover. I have a feeling that has not aged amazingly. I'm sure there's some stuff that's not great in there, but I'm sure it's a fun movie, and I'm sure it's not. I don't know. I don't think it's too bad. I'm sure you can look past most of it, hopefully. But really cool that Kino Lorber's putting that out. I'll have to check that one out at some point because I've never seen that one or heard of that one. But like I said, I do love Bing Crosby. Ethan Edwards says, do they still make Trapper Keepers? Probably. I haven't been to high school in 23 years now. Graduated in 2010, so I'm very old. I don't know what the kids are keeping their pencils in these days, but I'm pretty sure it's not a Willy Wonka tin. Let me see. Daniverse, The Hell with Heroes is not to be. Hey, welcome, Daniverse. Good to see you. I didn't see you pop in, but glad you're here. It's been a while. Good to catch up with you. He says it's not to be confused with the Steve McQueen film Hell is for Heroes. That's a very good distinction. Thank you for that, Daniverse. What do we see? Kevin House, has anybody seen My Gal? Is a lot of fun. It's an early Rock Hudson film. Interesting. Is it earlier than the ugly? Is it earlier than the other Douglas Sirk films, like his melodramas? Because he does a lot of films with Rock Hudson. So is that where he meets Rock Hudson and then later on he does his melodramas with him? That's interesting. That'd be really cool to see their relationship from the start before they do, the big stuff that they're known for. But Love me some Rock Hudson. We just watched All the Heaven Allows earlier this year, which was an amazing movie, great movie. It's going to be one that we have to go back to every Christmas time, winter time, because it's a lot of beautiful snow scenes in that movie. But yeah, there's a lot of Douglas Sirk films that I still need to see. I have seen that's the only one I've seen, but there's 2 other ones in the Criterion Collection that are on the short list that we're going to pick up probably this year in one of the sales. But yeah, I have not seen a comedy, especially a 50s kind of comedy musical by him. I'm fascinated to see how he can do that, because it doesn't seem like his style. From what I've seen, I'm sure he can do a lot of things. I'm sure he's pretty versatile. But yeah, that seems to be the most of what we needed to talk about. There's some lower budget things here coming out from, let's see, what's this? What is this? Let's check out this. This is from Massacre Video. Very disturbing looking cover, but it's called 555 is getting a Blu-ray release. No idea what that is, but I was hoping that was from a boutique label I was familiar with. Some other things here coming out: Everyone Will Burn from 2021, The Peacemaker from 1997 is getting a Paramount Pictures release. Paramount Pictures is doing pretty well this month. They've already got quite a few things coming out. Stony Island from 1978 is getting a release from Freestyle Digital Media. Which is yeah, wow, 1978 film, a drama and a musical. Another musical. Cool. I like to see musicals getting released. I'm a big musical fan. A documentary called The Highest of Stakes from 2023. It's only 93 minutes, is getting a release from Indican. And I have no idea what that is. That looks like a super low budget documentary film. And then lastly, The Mental State is getting a release from Gravitas Ventures. That's a 2022 film, very recent one, which is interesting. Fear is psychological, death is forever. So like a psychological drama there. So like I said, not much coming out this week. Very slim pickings this week. So if you're heading out to your, I guess, I don't know where you can head out these days. You can't head out to Best Buy. I guess you could only head out to Target. I just realized I wasn't showing my screen that whole time. So I'll quickly pop back over here. But there's Stony Island. There's Mental State, and there's The Highest of Stakes. So yeah, some smaller things coming out, but nothing really big. Like I said, I'm most excited about Dante's Inferno. I've already picked it up. It should be here soon. I'll do a review for you guys. Kino Lorber kind of sweeping the week with not only the most releases, but it seems like the most interesting releases as well. But of course, you've got Varsity Blues and Oldboy and Blood Simple getting 4K releases, which I know people will be very excited about those. But yeah, I'm excited about The Outside Man and Dante's Inferno. Those are my 2 takeaways from this week. And well, obviously Blood Simple as well, but I'm not on Criterion time yet. I have to wait till July. Actually, people always remind me, there's I think there's usually a February Criterion flash sale on their site for 24 hours. So maybe I'll be able to pick up a couple of those things. Maybe the Apu Trilogy. I have a lot of credit saved. I have like a $50 gift card coming from Criterion. Once I spend like $1, I'm like $1 away from getting my $50 gift card. So maybe I'll pick up the Apu Trilogy in the February sale. But let's go ahead and transition into kind of general live stream chat. Put your questions in the chat. Let me know what you want to talk about. Share what you've been watching lately. Recommendations are always welcome. And I'll talk a little bit about some videos that I'm planning to make here in the next coming weeks. Do a little channel update in the middle of this live stream, because it is, like I said, not a packed week. Not a packed week. It's January. It's only January. Give the studios a little bit of time, and they'll start putting out some stuff. Everyone needs to take a break. Give their wallet a break after Christmas destroyed everybody's wallet. All right, what do we got? Let me pop over here. Daniverse says, I'm expecting lots of yellowface in the road to Hong Kong. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there is a blackface scene in Holiday Inn, which is kind of a bummer because that's a really fun movie. But yeah, it's still enjoyable. But what can you do? What can you do? Kevin House, the road to Hong Kong is only for completists. Road to Morocco and Road to Utopia are the ones to watch first. Okay, so not the best according to Kevin House. It kind of tapered off at the end there. It was their last one that they did together. Kevin House says, I've never heard of Trapper Keepers, which gives you an idea of how long ago I went to school. I don't actually know. What is a Trapper Keeper? Is it just that little thing that has like 3 rings that you put in your binder that you put your pencils in? I think that's what it's called, but it's like the strangest name. I don't know why it's called that. Daniverse, The Peacemaker, the first DreamWorks film. Is that true? Whoa. Daniverse, you always amaze me with your random facts that you know. How do you know that? That's crazy. Nostalgia Nerds, if you could pick one film to go into the Criterion Collection, what would it be? It's $1 million question, and I should have an answer for it at this point because it comes up a lot. I should probably make a whole video about that. What is something that I would like to get a Criterion version of? I've mentioned it before. I really like the Scarlet Letter from 1926 by Victor Sjöström. It's a silent film. One of my favorite silent films. I think it's easily top 5, and I really enjoy it. And it doesn't even have a Blu-ray release at all. I don't even know if it has a DVD release. It might not even have a DVD release at all. And I really want to get that film. So Criterion is as good a label as any, and I would love for them to pick it up and put it out. We just got a Blu-ray release of the later release of Scarlet Letter, which I believe was from like the 40s, maybe 30s. But the silent version still has no release, and I would really like to get a release of that. But there's a ton of other things. That could be a whole video in itself. Maybe I should do that. We'll take notes. Top 10 movies that I think should get a Criterion release. A lot of people do posts like that on the groups, and I should maybe make a video about that. That would be fun. Fun discussion, fun thing to think about. Thanks for the question, Nostalgia Nerds. Kevin House, yes, Has Anyone Seen My Girl is before the better-known Hudson Cirque films and very different in tone and story. That's what I'm saying, man. A musical? I would love to see Rock Hudson just sing. I guess he can sing if he's in it. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if he sings or not, but yeah. Rock Hudson has been in several comedies. He's quite charming. He's quite charming for sure. But I'd love to see that different side of him. Because like I said, I've only seen him in the melodramas, which is very different. Evil Wax says, okay, so Evil Wax is responding to the question about which film would you like to see in the Criterion Collection. He says Touch of Evil. Ben Loves Movies says Singing in the Rain, which just got a 4K release. And last year, I think, maybe a couple of years ago at this point, and I never picked it up, and I'm kicking myself for not picking it up. And then Evil Axe says also, or The Third Man to be re-released on Criterion. Yes, that would be really cool. I would, after how much I paid for the Blu-ray, the out-of-print Blu-ray, Digipack, that would hurt if it got re-released in Criterion right now. So maybe give that a few years. but I love that movie. That's a really good movie. Kevin House, I would love to see 1947's Life with Father with William Powell on Criterion because it hasn't had an official release on DVD or Blu-ray. See, those are the ones I would love to go to, ones that have no Blu-ray release, and especially ones that have no DVD release. I really would like Criterion to get those because that's such a bummer. Because you don't want films to get lost to time. That's the problem with everything. If physical media goes away, they're gone, man. You can never see them again. There's a lot of movies, especially like Czech movies. I recently watched. What did I watch recently? Over the holidays, I watched The Three Wishes for Cinderella, which I'm never going to remember the director's name right now. It's a double V name. He has a V first name and a V last name. And I was looking. I loved the movie. Really loved it. And his filmography seemed like he had done a couple other like fantasy fairy tale movies, and I don't know where I would possibly find those. Like I've looked them up on eBay, looked on YouTube to find them. Like there's like no releases of his other films, which is unfortunate because maybe second run is probably my best bet to get releases of those Czech films because they put out a ton of Czech stuff. Actually, just recently today, made my first purchase, my first haul from Second Run. So that should be here within the next couple weeks, and I can do a haul video for you guys. Second Run is an awesome company that puts out a lot of European stuff. I don't think it's Region B. I think they actually produce region-free stuff. But I got a box set from them a couple weeks ago, actually while I was in Dallas, from that store I was talking about earlier, and it looks amazing. It's actually Hungarian Masters set. So I looked at Second Run, and I wanted to look at other stuff. The reason I actually went to Second Run today was because they just released a 3-film box set for Jerzy Skolimowski, who is director of EO, director of Deep End. Those are the only 2 films I've seen by him, but they put out a box set of 3 of his most well-known, best highly regarded films. So I had to pick that up. Someone reminded me about it in the chat Actually, in the comments for my Christmas video, somebody reminded me about it, and I had to go ahead and buy it right away. So I bought that and a few other things. So that haul should be here soon, and I'll go over those with you in the chat. Someone, yes, Staniverse called it. His name is Vaclav Volisek. I don't know how to pronounce Czech, but that is his name right there on the screen. You can see it. He seems like a really interesting guy that I would love to see his films, but none of them have physical releases, so it's a bummer. But like I said, hopefully second run will get on those. Let me scroll back up here because the chat just finally came through, and oh no, it's not letting me scroll. What's going on here? Come on, YouTube. Uh-oh, I might not be able to see those ones up there. Oh, here we go. Okay, I got it. L.A. Jewel, I think first time talking to you tonight. Welcome, welcome. I watched The Lady Vanishes, The Apartment, and The Killing this week. All solid films. They are all solid films. I've seen all three of those. The Apartment's a great movie to watch around the holidays. It goes through Christmas and all the way through New Year's. I think it ends on New Year's. I wanted to watch it again this year because I got the 4K from Kino Lorber. We couldn't fit it in. Like I said, we were super busy. We were out of town visiting my wife's family over the holidays, so I didn't get to watch The Apartment, but I did watch Stalag 17, which is another Billy Wilder film that also takes place at Christmas, and both of those films are, I think The Apartment's a better movie, I think, but Stalag 17 is hilarious and really, really good. I recommend that one as well. If you want to watch more Billy Wilder films, Lady Vanishes is another good one. It's an early Hitchcock. I liked it. It is solid. It wasn't like one of my favorite Hitchcock movies, but The Killing is a really, really fun movie. Early Kubrick film. My friend Connor, who's been on the channel, showed me that film. He came over and visited me a couple of years ago, and he showed us that film, one of his favorite movies, and we really, really had a good time watching that. We actually did a discussion video about it. That's one of our Criterion episodes on the Criterion Corner podcast here on the channel. If you want to listen to our discussion on that film, we watched it. We had a couple margaritas, so we're a little silly in that video, but I hope you enjoy it because we had a good time talking about it. Let's see. Eva Wax says, I got Vertigo 4K and Dune 4K for Christmas. Solid options. I do have Dune 4K here. I haven't watched it again since I bought it, though. I need to watch it because the second one's coming out soon. And I do have Vertigo 4K in the Alfred Hitchcock set, which is back there. You can see. Can you see it? Yeah. See the red, blue, and green right there? There's 1, 2, and 3. Alfred Hitchcock's 4K volume 1, 2, and 3. Those are some very, very nice sets if you want to pick up a lot of Hitchcock films on 4K all at the same time. And they're not that expensive. I think they're only like $50. And I think the 1 and 2 are even lower than that at this point. Bailey Walsh. The early Criterion flash sale varies more with timing compared to the October one. It's typically in February, but also has been in March. I think it depends on new release people are eager about. New releases people are eager about. Okay, I wouldn't mind if it waited till March because I don't have, like I said, Christmas. You know, I don't have any money right now. So if it wants to wait till March, that's fine. I also, I'm hoping that that Arrow does like a sale soon because there's some new releases coming from them this week. I think I think Barbarella's already out. They released Barbarella Special Edition, limited edition, but that Conan set is coming out. Conan, I've never seen the Conan films, but I do like fantasy stuff, and I feel like I need to watch those at some point just for their cult classic status. And they're getting a super nice limited edition release from Arrow, individually and together, which is super cool. So hopefully Arrow will do a sale because they usually are around Criterion the same time. So I don't know. Hopefully that happens. People are still talking about Trapper Keepers. This is a great runner. I like this. L.A. Jewel says Trapper Keepers are binders that have a fold-over Velcro closing, usually with different designs on them. Oh, is that what a Trapper Keeper is? Why the heck is it called that? I had no idea. I've had a zip-up binder at one point, but I don't know if I've had. I guess I don't know if I've had a Trapper Keeper or not. Ethan says I had a Lamborghini Trapper Keeper in the 80s. Interesting. I did not. I don't know. Were they still big in the 90s? I was an elementary kid in the 90s, so I don't know if they were still big. I don't know if I know what a Trapper. I'm gonna have to Google this afterwards. Internet user says I picked up the Criterions of Mona Lisa and Inland Empire for my birthday last month. Oh, happy birthday! Happy belated birthday. My birthday is this month, in a couple weeks actually. So I might be out of town for one of these Monday shows. So I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you updated whenever that happens. But yeah, Mona Lisa's an amazing movie. I watched that for the first time towards the end of last year and really, really loved it. I hope you enjoy that one. And I've not seen Inland Empire yet. I've not started my my David Lynch journey yet, but I don't think I'll start with that one. I think I'll start with one of the more accessible ones. Connor says, movies I want in Criterion 4K. Everybody Wants Some from 2016, Little Women from 2019, and RRR from 2022. So some recent releases that Connor wants in the Criterion collection. That would be amazing if RRR got a Criterion release. That would be really cool. But yeah, there's some recent releases. I know I've talked to Connor about all those movies. He loves all three of those. Ethan says Criterion should release Shoe Shine. Jeffrey Patron also is a big fan of Everyone Wants Some, and he says it would be amazing on 4K. Wow, a lot of I gotta start reading faster. I gotta catch up. Thank you guys so much for the engagement in the chat. Really enjoying talking to you guys. It's great to catch up. It's been a long time, and I'm gonna have to be a little bit more selective about these because I'm never gonna get through this. Let's see. What do we have? Henry Bidenkamp says, surprised to see that Douglas Sirk directed a comedy. Has anybody seen My Gal? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier. That is surprising, but it is interesting. I'm intrigued. I recommend the 1956 John. I can never remember if it's Huston or Houston, and I'm gonna look like a fool. That guy. Film Moby Dick, starring Gregory Peck. Solid film. Good. I'm glad people are watching good stuff. That's the only thing. That's what I say at the end. Well, I guess I don't say. I say keep collecting. But obviously, if you're collecting, I'm hoping you're actually watching the stuff that you're collecting. And I'm glad people are seeing good things. Ethan, I have Ordette in my Letterboxd queue. Ordette is actually in on my shortlist this year. So if you follow me on Letterboxd, DJ Martinez III, you will see I just posted a list called my 2024 shortlist, and it's like 75, 80 films on there right now. Films that I absolutely want to get to at some point this year. Films that I already own that I haven't seen yet, that I want to get to. I have too much stuff that I haven't watched yet. I want to slow down this year on picking up new things and slow down on watching stuff on streaming and actually watch the stuff I already have. So I'm putting together a list of mostly box sets for directors or actors that I want to watch more of. And let me know what you think of that list, because there's a lot of stuff on there, and I think I can get to it. I think I can get to most of it, but having it all in a list is good, because most of the time the problem is we get in here, Grace, the kids are asleep. Grace and I come in here. We start looking for something to watch. And then before we know it, it's like 20 or 30 minutes and we're still looking and we can't decide. So having it kind of condensed into a list, kind of like we did with October. For Spooktober, we watch, a certain section of movies, and then the same thing for Christmas movies in December. Having that list to work off of really kind of focuses us, and it helps us like prepare for what we're going to watch. So I'm going to do that throughout all of 2024. Obviously, I'm going to watch other things. I'm probably not going to get through everything on the list, but I think having that list is going to keep me a little bit more focused. So hopefully I can make it through a bunch of those. And Ordette is on that list because I have the Dreyer box set from Criterion, which I bought because I love Day of Wrath. One of the best movies I've ever seen, I think. It's up there. Really, really good movie. And I want to see some of his other work, because I've only seen 2 films from him, or maybe 3. I've seen 3 films from him, but I want to watch more of his stuff. And Ordette is the next one on the list. Bailey Walsh says the Czech really have a knack for fairy tale films. Seriously, they really do. And even ones that aren't specifically adapted from fairy tales still have like that kind of fairy tale quality. I love Carol Zeman's films. I love I don't know if I love. I think I do. I think I really like Valerie and Her Week of Wonders. I need to watch it again. That's a very interesting film, and it has a fairy tale quality to it. Very, very interesting. Daisies is a great Czech film. So I'm down for as many Czech films as I can get my hands on. I just bought 2 or 3 Czech films from second run today that are coming with my Jerzy Skolimowski box set. So hopefully I enjoy those as well. And 2 of them are based on fairy tales. So maybe you can figure out what those are. Big Czech fairy tale movies. What do we have? Let's see. People talking to each other in the chat. So I will scroll down a little bit. Let me grab some water from my Wonka cup. All right. Uh-oh. Don't freak me out. Evil Wax says technical difficulties. Is anything wrong? It's still telling me I have a excellent connection. So don't freak me out like that. Let me see. People are talking a lot to each other, and I'm trying not to read their conversations out loud. People still talking about Trapper Keeper. 123 Rock Band. Trapper Keeper sounds like something from an 80s horror movie. It does sound like a pretty cool name. What was that? There's some movie. I'm never going to remember what it is, but there's some movie where someone is making like jokes about very normal, everyday items as horror films, and he says Trapper Keeper. What is that? Is that a TV? Oh, that's going to bother me now until I figure out what that is. Inland Empire is the worst movie to get into David Lynch first. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard not to start with that one. LA Jewel saying start with Eraserhead, got to jump right into the craziness. I think I will start with Eraserhead at this point. I was going to start with Elephant Man for the longest time, and maybe I still will. But Eraserhead also sounds interesting to me. Ethan does say Straight Story or Elephant Man are the most accessible Lynch. Oh, that's what I've heard. Straight Story is just like a straight movie, like a normal movie that he made, and Elephant Man sounds really interesting to me, and I do own that one on Criterion, so I'll probably start with that one. Ben also throwing it in, saying I would start with Elephant Man or Straight Story. Do not start with Eraserhead. So yeah, so mixed opinions here in the chat, but I probably will start with oh, hold on a second here. Jeffrey Patron put in a super chat. Thanks so much, man. Let's see. $5 super chat from Jeffrey Patron. Thank you so much, buddy. Always good to talk to you. And if you're not following Jeffrey Patron on Letterboxd, please do, because he is a great follow and he watches a ton of movies. And he's been putting together a bunch of really cool lists based on director. He just put out a Marx Brothers list of all ranking all of the Marx Brothers films, which I really enjoyed because I want to finally get to those this year. So Jeffrey Patron, a great follow. Love checking out what you're looking at, Jeffrey. And he says, my hope this year is to watch more silent films, all and everything, especially if it's weird. You're speaking my language, sir. I love silent films, especially genre silent films. I could recommend some. If you haven't seen, let me finish your question first, and then I'll get into recommendation. Any suggestions knowing some of my watch? Perfect. Okay, I was jumping right into the suggestions without even being asked, so you could have saved that little bit of the question. He says, knowing my watch history, DJ. So I haven't seen that many silent films, but I'm with you. I also want to watch more silent films. I actually have all of the Buster Keaton films back there. I want to finally get to more of those. I've only seen 2 so far. I've seen Young Sherlock and I've seen The General, both which I adored. I really, really liked. So I do want to get to more of his stuff. Silent films I recommend. Some of my favorites, like I said, the 1926 Victor Shorstrom. What is it called now? Scarlet Letter. Talking about a lot of movies. Scarlet Letter is one of my favorites. I watched that on TCM, which I know you're also a big fan of. So if it ever comes back up on TCM, make sure you watch that, Jeffrey, because I know you have that. Also, obviously, The Passion of Joan of Arc is one of the best silent films ever. If you haven't seen that, one of my favorite silent films, maybe my favorite silent film is what's it called? It's the New Year's movie that's kind of like It's a Wonderful Life, but it's like Phantom Carriage. The Phantom Carriage. If you haven't seen The Phantom Carriage, Jeffrey, I highly recommend it. It's still around New Year's time, so it's a great time to watch it. It takes place on New Year's. It's kind of like I pitch it as the reverse It's a Wonderful Life. So instead of happening on Christmas time, it's happening on New Year's. Instead of an angel coming down and like showing a guy his entire life, instead of seeing a guy's entire life and seeing all the good that he made the right decision at every turn, it's not an angel, it's like the Grim Reaper comes down and shows this guy his entire life and how he's made like the wrong decision at every single turn. Very sad, very heart-wrenching movie. It's got an amazing score that was done later, I think in like 2006. One of my favorite scores, actually, which is kind of cheating, I know, because it's not original to the film, but it's on the Criterion release. It has that score already on that version. I didn't know that at the time, but it's great. I love that score, and I can't remember the composer who puts it together right now, but I love that movie. And also you've got Charlie Chaplin. I don't know how far you are, Jeffrey, on your Charlie Chaplins and your Harold Lloyds and your Buster Keatons, but any of those are good. The Circus is my favorite Charlie Chaplin film. I'm sure you've already seen most of those, but all of those are good. Harold Lloyd, I just recently watched The Freshman. And of course, I've seen Safety Last. I have a couple other Harold Lloyds that are in the collection to watch, but you can't go wrong with the comedies from the silent era. But yeah, I wish I could think off the top of my head of some other ones, because I know there are some other ones that I've really enjoyed. Sunrise, which I think you've already seen. It's hard to recommend things because I'm not exactly sure what you've seen, but I will. I'll message you. I'll message you on Letterboxd with some. Actually, I have a ranking of all the silent films I've seen on my Letterboxd, so you can see which ones are at the top, and I recommend all of those. And I'll make sure that's public, because I don't know if that's public or if it's private. I have a lot of lists that I keep private, but I should make that public if it's not. Oh no, Gus says I'm freezing. Well, that is not good. That's a bummer. Hold on, hold please. Let me knock back these stream settings a little bit. Oh, I can't change it while I'm live. Well, I hope it's not too bad. That is unfortunate. So inside baseball, I turned the stream latency down a little bit to ultra low latency because, like I said, I was getting a lot of lag between the chat, and I wasn't seeing your messages for a long time. And I don't know if that upping those settings maybe is slowing things down a little bit. So sorry if it's a little laggy tonight, guys. I don't know if there's anything I can do now that the settings are already set and the video's already live, but sorry about that. Let's see what else is going on. Thank you so much for the super chat, Jeffrey. You're the man. I'll talk to you later. Talk to you on Letterboxd. Oh yes, Evil Wax says Cabin of Dr. Caligari. Couldn't agree more. Actually, I've never done this, but I'm gonna slide off screen for a second. 1 second, I have to show you guys something. Look at this! Look at this! Oh, I'm so excited. This just came in the mail today. Look at that. Oh, my hands are sweaty. I don't even want to get sweat on it. It's so nice. It's the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari 4K release, Masters of Cinema, spine number 92 from Eureka, guys. I finally got it. I wanted to get this a couple years ago. I never did. I'm going to do a full unboxing of this video, but it's got this huge booklet in there. I can't believe I forgot that one. Yes, Jeffrey, watch that. That's one of the best silent films ever. I love that movie. Thank you for bringing that up, Evil Wax, because I'm so excited about that box set. I ordered that just a couple weeks ago with some Christmas money. So very excited to have that in the collection. Eureka puts out incredible things. And that is my first of their new 4K Deluxe slipcase box sets that they're doing. I also picked up another one a couple weeks ago with some Christmas money. So that'll be here soon. Maybe I'll do a double unboxing video when that one comes in, because it's another black and white silent film that just came out, so you probably know what it is. It came out towards the end of last year, and ordered that one from Eureka directly, so that one might take a little while to get here. Let me see. Michael Smith says Haxan might be right up your alley. I second that as well. Haxan is one of my favorite silent movies. It's great. It's like a documentary, like a mockumentary almost, about like witchcraft in the Middle Ages, and it's like really black comedy but also very serious. But the director plays Satan himself, and then you've got, I don't want to spoil too much, but yes, Haxan's amazing. Definitely check that one out. Let me see. Bailey Welsh, Les Vampires from Louis Felade, which is a silent serial. I have yet to watch Phantoms from him, but I own it. Yeah, that's one that got a release from Indicator recently. Is that not? Am I right about that? I looked at that one and I almost picked it up, but I think you actually, Bailey, told me that you don't know if it would be for me or not. Connor says The Freshman is great. We are supposed to talk about that movie, Connor. We got to get our schedules together so we can film. Our next Criterion Corner is going to be about The Freshman. And I know he just watched that over the holidays with his brother. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, man, because it's really fun. Connor says Sunrise is like the best movie ever. Yeah, it's up there with one of my favorite silent movies of all time. Dr. Caligari, if you haven't seen it. So another person mentioning that. Jeffrey says, thank you for the suggestions. Getting into Harold Lloyd. Ordered Speedy recently. Will watch The Circus tomorrow. Love Sunrise. Yes, Speedy is great. I watched Speedy with my son. Speedy's a good one you can watch with your kids. It's highly entertaining. And I think even more so than Safety Last, if you want to show your kids a Harold Lloyd movie, I would recommend Speedy. It's really cool. It starts out at a carnival, and then it turns into he's basically like a taxi driver, and he's driving around, and my son Judah really liked it. It's really good. Rock fan, DJ, have you seen the silent film Greed? No, I haven't seen the film Greed, but if I'm not mistaken, that's the one that was like originally 8 hours long, and then it got hacked to pieces by the studio, and now we only have like a unfinished version of it. Is that true? Is that the one you're talking about? Because I was really looking forward to that movie, and I think I had it on my shortlist at one time, and I never got around to it. And then I heard that story, and I got really bummed out that we're never going to see the full completed version of it. But I'm sure it's still great, even cut down as small as it was. Connor Nielsen says, another year, another 12 months of Amadeus 4K speculation. Hey, this could be the year, Connor. This could be the year. Ethan Edwards says, all joking aside, you haven't frozen once that I've noticed on my end. Great. I should have known. I should have known if it was coming from Ethan that he is he's a jokester. He's always he's always yanking my chain, as they say. But yeah, that's good. That's actually good to hear, because I did bump up those latency settings so I could talk to you, and it seems to be working better. Like, I'm getting your messages faster, and we're be able to have a conversation. Because what would happen on the last streams would be, I would be like, all right, last call for questions. Does anyone have anything? And then I would end the stream, and then like a wall of text would come up, and I would miss all your questions, and I would be kind of annoyed because some good questions would come up, and I would miss the stream. But it seems to be pretty good tonight. You guys are pretty much on the same speed with me. Although people are just now freaking out about the Dr. Caligari movie, so maybe not. Maybe there is still a bit of a lag, but you can't do anything about it. YouTube is a little slow about that. Kevin House says, for heaven's sake, is a really fun Harold Lloyd comedy? I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to check that one out. I'm going to have to start branching out past Criterion at some point, because they only have like 4 or 5 of his films. But yeah, I think we're caught up. I'll talk. Where are we at here? How long is the stream going? It has been about an hour. Okay, so we'll wrap this up relatively soon, maybe 20 or 30 more minutes, if you guys still want to talk. If you have anything you guys want to talk about. But videos. Okay, so upcoming stuff. Kind of a channel update on the video on the channel is, I really want to. So a couple people have been asking me if I'm going to do a Letterboxd stats update, like I did last year at the beginning of last year. You know, Letterboxd, if you're like a pro or whatever, they send you your stats, and then you can see all the stuff you watched throughout the year. It's kind of a fun look back over the year, and it's, I don't know, it's enjoyable. I did a discussion video last year on that, and didn't really think anything of it. I don't know. It was more just for me to look back and talk to, because Connor was on that video with me. It was more just fun for us. But that video actually, I looked at it yesterday, and it did pretty good. It's got like 1.7 thousand views. So I don't know. I guess people like discussing stats. We're movie nerds, so we like talking about that stuff. So I'll probably do another one of those here in the next couple weeks. I haven't looked at my stats yet, but I want to look at them. I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I hope I hope it's good. I hope I have I think I have some pretty good progress to show for it. And so with that video, the Letterboxd video, it also gets me thinking about this upcoming year and things I want to do and movie goals I want to have for that. So I'll probably do another short video about my movie goals for this upcoming year. I've already talked about it a little bit here about the 2024 shortlist that I have. I'll be pulling a lot from that because I find it easier to carry through with things. My goals last year were a little too vague, I think. Like, it was more like, watch this many silent films, watch this many international films, foreign films, and it was a little too vague. It wasn't as specific as I think it needs to be. So I think I'm going to be a little bit more specific and pull from that list directly, and have directors that I want to get to, and specific actors, maybe, those kind of things. So I will do a goal video for that. I've been watching some people have been doing those. Somebody did a movie collecting goal video, which was interesting to me because I've made movie watching goals, but I've never made movie collecting goals. So I've been thinking about that. I don't know if I want to get to, because that's like completionist territory. If you're like, I want to get this many spine numbers and this many titles from Criterion or whatever label, I don't know if I'll get that specific, but I'm going to do a goal video. So a couple videos coming out soon. I've also got to do a lot of unboxing videos for all the box sets I got for Christmas, but I want to watch the movies first. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some for the newer stuff, like the Todd Slaughter box set. Maybe I'll do an unboxing video, but usually for I like to watch the films first, so I actually have something to talk about when I do the unboxing, especially if it's like an older thing that doesn't really matter when it comes out. I like to do a little prep for that. So I have a lot of those videos that I got to come out. I recently made like I said, I made my first Masters of Cinema 4K box set purchase. I made my first second run purchase, so that'll be another video. And then I just bought my first release from Deaf Crocodile, which is a Vinegar Syndrome partner label, and then also Yellow Veil, which is another Vinegar Syndrome partner label. And so I have 2 films back there. So I've got a lot of stuff I got to show you guys. Finding the time to film videos is the hardest part, but hopefully I can get that out to you very soon. And we can wrap this video up. If you have any other final call for questions, and we'll move on. We've completely gotten away from new releases at this point. We've been talking about everything else under the sun. Real quick, jumping back to that, because I usually like to talk a little bit about which ones are my favorites and add some to my Amazon wish list. So I'm gonna jump over to the channel page here and go to the Linktree, blah, 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 and pull up my Amazon wish list. And we will add, what are we most interested in this year? I would add the Holdovers to my Amazon wish list and just keep it in there. I don't think, like I said, I'm not gonna pick it up until maybe a 4K gets released, or if it's like really cheap at Black Friday or something, I'll pick it up later because I don't need to watch it. I probably won't watch it again. I'm trying not to do that. That's like something I need to get better about, is like I buy new releases right when they came out, right after I saw them, and then I don't watch them again for a long time. So there's really no reason for it to be sitting on my shelf. So don't think I'm going to pick that one up right away, but I will add it to my wish list just to have it in there. Apu Trilogy is definitely going to be one that I'm going to be picking up. If I had to pick a top 5, it would be Holdovers, the Apu Trilogy, Blood Simple, The Outside Man, and it would be Dante's Inferno, but I've already picked that up. So I'll leave it at top 4. I think those are the 4 I'm most interested in. But you guys just popped in on the chat, so let me talk to you guys real quick. Man, the lag is crazy. All right. Let's see. Any predictions for the Criterion announcements? Dude, I am so out of the loop on that. Like, people on here make fun of me because I buy things that I are rumored to get 4Ks like immediately. So I am not even on the Reddit. I need to get on Reddit and like follow what the rumors are, because I should probably be a little bit more informed on that stuff. But no, you guys let me know what you guys think is coming. I don't have any predictions. I can have things I wish would come out, but I don't know if I have any predictions. He does say or wishes. So yeah, that's something I would have something to say about, but I don't have predictions. Is it mostly Reddit? You guys who are in the know, let me know where you find out about this stuff. This is why I need to start a Discord so you guys can keep me in the loop. Ben says, got to do some work. Great stream. Can't wait to tune into the next one. Thanks for coming, Ben. Thanks for making it a better stream with your comments and questions. And we'll see you again next week, man. Go get some work done. Michael Smith, DJ, do you have... you might have just skipped it earlier, or if you missed it, there is a Norwegian release of that Czech film you mentioned. What film did I mention? I don't know if I mentioned a specific film. I mentioned the director. But I don't know if I mentioned any of his specific films. But that's really cool. I don't know what region Norwegian is. That was a weird thing to say. But I don't know what region that is. But I have a region-free player, so I should be fine. But I'll have to look into that and see if I can find it. Bailey says Lace Vampires has a Kino release. I think you're thinking of the Jean Rollins films on Indicator, which are mostly vampire movies. Okay, that's what I was getting confused. No. I actually do know what you're talking about, because the Kino release of Lace Vampires is something that I almost bought at one point, because they have a really nice like slipcase release of that serial that you're talking about, and I've heard nothing but great things about it. I think Connor was the one who turned me on to that originally and told me that it was very highly regarded as serial from the good old days, and is a really good watch around October time. So I'll probably pick that one up eventually, because I can visualize the Kino release that you're talking about. And Edward says it's one of the greatest serials ever, a crime film, though not a vampire film. Oh, interesting. Wow, that is I think that's a deceiving cover then. Rockfan says Sunrise seems like a movie that could be remade by the Coen brothers. Interesting. I don't know about that. I think it's too much of a romance for the Coen brothers. Have they done any big romance movies? Maybe they have. But it doesn't seem immediately like their style, but I'm sure they could do it. I don't know if I would want it remade, because it is one of my favorite silent movies. Daniverse says Greed, one of the greatest almost lost movies. Yeah, it's such a shame that most of it is lost, but I do still want to watch it because I'm very interested. Evil Wax says, I still need to check out Metropolis. Heard it's really trippy. It is. That's a good way to describe it. It's awesome, though. I love Metropolis. I got to see it in the theater with a live organ accompaniment a couple of years ago, and it was a really, really great experience. I really enjoyed that. Make sure if you're going to check out Metropolis, you get the whatever, Ultimate Edition. I don't know exactly what it's called. Kino Lorber put it out a couple of years ago, and it has all the lost footage like put back in. And you can kind of tell because the footage is like little not as high quality as the rest of the movie, but it is great to see all that footage in there because there's some really cool scenes that they put back in. So definitely get the Kino version. I actually have an extra Kino Lorber version. Long story, but I'll be selling that on eBay soon. Let me see. People are saying, Jade and Christopher back again. I like to see For Those I Loved get a release from Criterion. To my knowledge, it doesn't have one. I don't know what that is. I'm not immediately familiar with that one. Code Anime Fan, the fact that there's a film called Metropolis and it has nothing to do with Superman disappoints me. Oh, don't be disappointed, man. It is one of the best movies of all time. Check it out. It's came out way before Superman was a thing. Came out in the 20s. That is a great movie. Rockfan says The Kid Brother by Harold Lloyd is also a classic. Yes, that's the one I need to watch next. I think I've watched all the other Criterion ones from Harold Lloyd. I've already talked about all the ones I've watched, but I haven't watched Kid Brother yet, but I do own it back there. I picked it up in a recent Criterion sale. So that's the next one. That's a Western. It's like a parody of a Western, which I've been getting into Westerns lately. I was always not a big fan of that genre, just overall. I didn't have anything against it. I just hadn't watched many. And we've been watching some Westerns recently. There's a couple more Westerns I want to get to this year. I want to finally watch Red River, which I have back there. And I also want to watch Stagecoach for the first time. So I'll be in a Western mood at some point this year. And maybe I'll also pop in The Kid Brother and get a little Harold Lloyd action, little comedy Western. Speaking of Westerns, Destry Rides Again is one of the best Westerns I've ever seen. Jimmy Stewart, I've seen 3 Jimmy Stewart Westerns at this point. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, also an incredible movie. John Ford, fantastic movie. And then we also watched Destry Rides Again, which is one of my favorite Jimmy Stewart performances. He's so good in it. And then I also watched Winchester 73, which is like a lower budget, more just kind of disposable Western movie compared to those other two, but it's still really, really good, and he's great in it because he's always great because he's the best actor of all time. Let me see. People talking back and forth. Let me see. Blood Simple for sure. I think Michael Smith, I think it was 3 Gifts for Cinderella. Oh, yeah, yes. So you were talking about 3 Wishes for Cinderella. So yes, that does have a Blu-ray release. I actually opted to go for the DVD because Second Run puts out really good stuff, and they had a lot of supplements on their version that I wanted to watch. So I didn't go with the, like you said, the Norwegian release that is a Blu-ray. I actually went with the DVD because Second Run had it only on their website for $12.99, which is I couldn't refuse. So that is one of the movies I picked up from Second Run today. So 3 Wishes for Cinderella is a good movie. I really like it. I don't know if it's for everybody, but it was a great sick day movie for me. I was sick that day, still recovering from it, and I was gonna go to bed, and I was like, I want to watch something. I popped it in, and it just made my day. It was such a fun movie. Ethan Edwards must get the Fritz Lang box set Kino put out. Yes. Oh, I do have this Fritz. Are you saying you must get it or I must get it? Because I have it, sir. I have it right back there on the shelf. It's a box set of all his silent films, and it's beautiful and it's amazing. And I need to watch more of them. I really want to watch Die Nibelungen this year. That's got to be on my short list. I got to add that. I think I already did. I add that? Maybe I didn't. I'm all over the place this video. It's getting late, and this is my first day back. Still getting in the swing of things. Sorry if it's a little manic today, but it's another Manic Monday. Henry Beidenkamp, 40th anniversary for Amadeus, so it is possible. Henry's keeping the hope alive for Amadeus. I hope for your guys' sake it finally comes out. Last one we got here. Expoden, saw you gave Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence 5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Absolutely amazing film. Yes, I did, sir. I felt like I had no choice to give it a 5 out of 5 because I was weeping at the end of it. Just weeping. Just like I've never done in a movie before. I was just like sputtering. I was just like stuttering and mumbling about why can't we be better. Like, oh man, it was embarrassing. I'm glad no one was there for that. I was downstairs in the theater by myself when I watched that, and good grief, is that a good movie. That's gotta be one of the best Christmas movies of all time. That's like way up at the top of the list. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I couldn't bring myself to give it anything lower because it wrecked me. I was like I was looking like a fool. Luckily, Grace was upstairs asleep, and I was watching it by myself. But I'm glad I did watch it because it was such a good experience, and I'll never forget that experience. But man, such a good movie, such a good score. If you haven't seen Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, I think you can go. I don't think you have to watch it at Christmas time. It's in Japan, and it's in like a World War II camp, so it doesn't really feel like Christmas at all. Their weather is different, so it's like sunny the whole time, so it doesn't feel like Christmas. I think Christmas does play a significant role in the movie, and there's a great couple scenes about Christmas, so I would recommend watching it at Christmas, but you don't have to. I recommend just watching it any time because it's such a good movie, and I had like a spiritual experience with that movie. It was very, very emotional. And I don't know if it'll be that way for you. I don't want to hype it up too much, but it's a great movie. I think it's probably David Bowie's best performance. And it's not even David Bowie who does the score. It's the other rock star in the movie who does the score, who is, I can't remember his name at this point, but he's a Japanese rock star. And he made an incredible score for that movie. A lot of synth, very, very, very good score. I've actually been listening to that just in my headphones, like, while I walk around and do chores because it's such a good score and I really like it. But yeah, that is Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. X Bowden, thank you, by the way, X Bowden. You're always engaging on my Letterboxd, and I see you on there all the time. So thank you for reading my reviews and checking out my lists and whatever I do on Letterboxd. But I enjoy it. It's fun, and we will wrap this one up. I'm sure as soon as I say that, all the chat's going to catch up and I'm going to be behind again, but let's see, we can probably wrap this one up. How long have we been talking? Hour 20? That's usually how long we go. About an hour and a half, hour 20. I've recommended a ton of movies tonight, so hopefully I said something insightful or interesting that has made you want to check out some kind of movie, because that's all I do here. I talk about movies, and I buy movies and then I show them to you guys, and I have a lot of fun doing it, and I really like doing these shows. Hopefully we can stay consistent with these and keep doing these every week, because it keeps me more aware of things that are coming out, and I want to have these things on my radar so I don't get behind again. Well, real quickly skimming through next week, it looks like a bigger week. It looks like we'll have more to talk about next week, so please tune in for that, and we'll talk about all the upcoming releases, and I'll see you again for that. But until next time, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to stall until the chat catches up to see if anyone has any questions, but it doesn't look like it's going to catch up, so I might just have to roll. I may just have to go. I don't know why the lag is so bad. But anyway, I really enjoyed talking to you guys. Thanks for catching up with me. I hopefully will be back again real soon with several videos that I want to get done, and hopefully I can keep that going. Thank you guys for watching, and for everything that you do on this channel, for liking, for commenting, subscribing. I never thank you guys enough for that, but I really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. We've been doing good. We had a good year in 2023. I hope that we keep going in 2024. I want to keep doing it, and I hope you guys keep watching. Thank you for watching tonight, and until next time, keep collecting, and I'll be back with another video real soon.